What's up, everybody? We have an awesome chiropractor to show you today. I'm joined by Dr. Pete Goldman, founder of the Zone School of Healing, who is receiving miraculous results from people flying in from around the world.
About 25 different countries around the world, and driving 4 hours each way. About 100 people or more driving 4 hours each way. So the healings are pretty spectacular.
And so we want to do a chiropractor. We're going to be talking a little bit about the different styles of care that we provide, and I'm excited to be teaming up with Dr. Pete here to have some greater offerings for the chiropractic healers around the world to be receiving better results. And that's what this is all about, right, brother?
It is, and in Zone School of Healing, and you can check out zonetechnique.com to see what it's about. In Zone School of Healing, I'm really teaching chiropractors to be spectacular healers and get spectacular healing results. And about 80% of my patients come to me with non-musculoskeletal chief complaints. I'm saying on the entrance form, hey, Dr. Pete, why am I here to see you? 80% of them are coming for their digestion, their circulation, their thyroid, their pancreas, their gallbladder, their liver, whatever. One thing I don't teach in Zone School is how to adjust. Now, obviously I know how to adjust, but I don't teach that. And if you want to learn from the best about how to adjust, he's right here. So we're talking about doing some cool stuff together and helping out both of our programs.
So there it is. So we're gonna get started so you guys can see what this is all about. And real quick before we do, you also take care of like some pretty awesome professional fighters, right?
I do. So I'm a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so maybe that's why I attract these guys. But BJ Penn, one of the greatest MMA fighters ever, when I met him in 2004, he had several herniated discs in his neck. He was told to retire and or get neck surgery. He was having pain in his neck 24/7. And in 6 zone adjustments, his neck was totally perfect. And as you may know, BJ Penn has had his ups and downs in his career, but you never heard about his neck again.
Yep.
And I also take care of Deion Jordan, the NFL. I take care of a lot of NFL players, NHL players, Jake Shields, Gilbert Melendez, Bas Rutten, Hickson Gracie, Tyrone Gracie. I have pretty much the best fighters in the world come to me.
So there he is, and he's here joining us for the chiropractor. So which way would you like me to get started?
Let's go face down, please.
Got it, brother.
And I'll explain a couple things just briefly. So in the technique I do, the zone technique, the brain is divided up into 6 different parts, which control the glands of the body, the eliminative organs, the nervous system, digestive system, muscle system, circulatory system. So there's points in the back of the head that relate to these 6 brain centers. Now, in this way of looking at it, the brain is the positive pole, the spinal cord is the negative pole, looking at the body like an electrical machine. So I'm now gonna check the 6 brain centers in Dr. Brett, and I'm going to then reset them. So Dr. Brett, is this a little tender here?
That's the most tender.
Okay. And second place is here,
Yep.
I think. Okay. So what I'm going to do for Dr. Brett is I'm going to work on his elimination system, which is the brain center and the cerebrum that controls the sinuses, lungs, kidneys, bladder, intestines, and anything that eliminates his toxins, so his toxins can be eliminated more efficiently. And the points are C2, T3, T12, and L2. I'm going to stimulate those 4 points of the cord. This is a spinal cord stimulation technique. It is not an intersegmental bone moving technique. So I'm going to stimulate these points. You can do it with a chiropractic adjustment. You can do it with an activator, which I don't personally use, but you could. You could do it with a hard adjustment, a soft adjustment. It doesn't matter. I'm going to make sure the brain is sending the right signals. So I'm going to just very gently work on these. And we got a very nice audible on L2, T12, and T3, but the bottom line is it doesn't matter because I could have got audibles on 2 of those 3, 3 of those 3, which we did, or none of those 3. As long as I stimulate the cord, we're in good shape. I'm gonna adjust his side posture, but just understand that in the zone technique, the side posture is like an extremity. It's like me adjusting his foot or his wrist or his ankle. This is not part of the spinal cord stimulation, but I'm gonna just have him lay on his side facing me here, Dr. Brett, and then I'm just gonna do a little pelvic reset, just based on something, no big deal. Excellent, and sit up for a second, and just sit up right here. And then I'm gonna adjust C2 very gently. Beautiful. And I'm gonna just let that relax. And that stimulates the C2 level of the cord, and that's the closest part to the brain center that controls the eliminative organs. And again, as I was talking to Dr. Brett about before, to me the most important thing is healing results. And if you check out zonetechnique.com and Zone School, you'll see that's my focus. So go face down, please, Dr. Brett. And the point that was tender to him was harder to me. And I can also tell, and you'll learn this in zone school, how to tell if a thing is old or new, or old and new. And when I felt his zone 2, it was a little bit old and new, meaning it was kind of an old eliminative imbalance and also a new at the same time. But I reset both and I address both, so it doesn't make a difference because we reset that part of the brain. And I would like to ask him how that feels.
Much better.
Beautiful. Come on up, please. So that's what we did. That's what we term in zone school perfect eliminative health, and I'm sure you'll find out more later. And I'm psyched for my adjustment.
There it is. Oh man, I'm excited for you guys to see that. And the bigness behind zone, again, is the healing results, and being able to generate what chiropractors have been doing for a long, long time. And unfortunately, you don't see it a lot anymore. You see mainly people addressing musculoskeletal issues and forgetting that this is a healing profession that was designed to get the sickest of the sick well. So I'm excited for Dr. Goldman to be sharing some of that. All right, go ahead and lay face down, brother. So for those of you that might be checking in new, I'm the co-founder of Kairos Training Culture, current CEO of Kairos Training Culture, and we train chiropractors and chiropractic students around the world in the art of chiropractic. And we use primarily a biotensegrity analysis. So using principles of tension to discover where there may be areas of dissonance and or dis-ease. And we do that through palpation and a variety of checks. So what I was picking up with Dr. Pete through the heels is a restriction in the E version of the heel, which is actually correlated to his SI joint on this right side. Upon direct palpation, we're finding a limitation or a fixation going from the neutral position into an external position, so we know we have something there. We're also picking up a change in dissonant tone at his area T8, T9. It's also a really deep subluxation, so we'll release that in an anterior dorsal, but we're gonna do this side posture, so go this side up for me, brother. So this is going to be what we call more like an I-in ilium. So getting him starting in a neutral position, tractioning pelvis externally, and then rolling the body as the group. And then I'm also going to traction the knee down to continue to gap that open. There we go. We'll go back face down. It's not a big audible release there, so I'm going to recheck sacrum. A lot of times when we have an I-in pelvis, there's also a sacral issue. Oh, we can check it through the heels again. So better gap, better opening in the actual movement, so that's good. Sacrum actually feels really good. So I'm good with the pelvis. So we do have now a little bit more of a T11, T12 problem. Take a breath in, let it out. There we go. Now go to your back, brother. So from the release of the pelvis, which was the primary of the low back, you had a secondary issue of the T12, T11. We're gonna recheck this T6, T7 area, which is really deep. So now this is more disc level. Go ahead and bend your knees for me. Take a breath in, let it out, get that compression, let it go, right there. Perfect. Whew. Open up, take a breath, let it go. And we primarily do supine, neck adjusting. We'll do seated. We teach the seated cervical that Dr. Pete did with me at our level 1. We also teach upper cervical work, mainly at level 3. So a lot of atlas occiput. I'm getting C5, C6, more facet level unilateral. So we're just gonna release just the right side. So the direction of that adjustment will come up this way. So that was just the release through the right side. You can adjust bilateral through both aspects of the vertebral joint. This would be C2, C3 going bilateral. So release posterior to anterior on the left side, anterior to posterior on the right. Perfect. So in our system, the goal is to create the ideal tension state within the human body. And in the ideal tension state, we have more ease, and that's the principle of healing. A system needs to be at ease, more in parasympathetic tone to begin its healing process. And what I'm excited about with Dr. Pete joining us, come on up, is that he's gonna add a lot more layers of the intention. of the connection, of knowing what systems of the body that you're working with, and so that you can begin to direct some of that healing energy and healing potential into the right places.
Just want to add to that. First of all, thank you. Great adjustment. Appreciate it. Feel awesome. Dr. Brett mentioned intention. A lot of people in zone school, when they come in, they say, Pete, what about intention? Is that important? Of course it's important. Intention plus the knowledge of the principles of healing is the winning formula, because everyone has good intention. I hope people became chiropractors with an intention of helping people, but sometimes they don't get the greatest results until they understand higher levels of healing principles. That's number one. Number two, in zone school, I mentioned zonetechnique.com. You can check it out, and Dr. Brett and myself will be doing a lot of stuff together with both our programs. I just want to say, and I actually didn't mention this to Dr. Brett yet, but we have like AK docs in zone school. Like, hey, Dr. Pete, I was already a successful AK doctor. Now I'm in zone school. I spend 1/10 of the time with a patient. I get 10 times better results. Or we have people who are like, I was already seeing 500 a week. I was like a successful chiropractor. I mean, successful, 500 a week. And they're like, in 2 months of zone school, I've learned more about healing than I have in 20 years of practice. So, and the list goes on and on. Chiropractors all over the board with all different kind of situations coming and taking their practice to a much higher level. Most importantly, because their healing results become spectacular. So I'm really psyched to be here. That was an amazing adjustment, and I feel great.
There it is. So you can find Dr. Pete Goldman. He's in San Francisco in the financial district. Just look up his name or look up zonetechnique.com. And I'm Dr. Brett Jones at the Source Chiropractic in Oakland, California. We love you. We appreciate you. Until next time. Peace.